happens when an ad is able to understand the culture so well that they're able to integrate themselves into it. We get amazing ads such as RC Cola's 2023 RC Litro Balot, and I'm going to give a marketing analysis of what they did right and what they could do better in the future. A brief introduction on what RC Cola is. So it's a beverage, of course, that started in 1905 in Georgia, USA. And funnily enough, it was created as a response to a local conflict of the founder with a Coca-Cola syrup salesman. So because he wasn't able to get the syrup for Coca-Cola, he decided to create his own beverage. And now we know that as RC Cola. So it has a dedicated consumer base in the southern states in the USA, and globally it distributes to 67 countries. On its marketing page, it boasts that it was one of the original users of influencer marketing, or just by using celebrities in their advertisements, especially in the 60s and 50s, where notably they used Rita Hayworth in their ads. With their marketing, they claim that they have a bold visual identity, and we can see this reflected in their packaging with the bright blue and the big RC logo plastered onto it. We're able to see what RC Cola is, and despite it being quite similar to Pepsi, we know that it's RC. And I've attached a photo of one of the advertisements that it ran in the Philippines. And this relates to one of its lackluster points, which is they have limited marketing actions or presence basically globally. But one place that they do excel in is the Philippines. 1, 2, 3. So why the Philippines in particular? Why does RC Cola sort of focus its marketing in this country? Well, Filipinos consume soda mostly in 3 occasions. First, with a meal, second, with friends, and third, during a party. It's because of this we can sort of consider them as social drinkers. And with sodas usually sold or being bought by the masses in sari-sari stores, we can consider this sort of a local small-scale distribution. Soda brands also have adapted to the locale by creating solo packs, which are smaller bottles for cheaper prices, but also creating sharing sizes, which fits the reasons why Filipinos consume soda for parties and for sharing with friends. RC Cola in particular has a 10% market share in the soda market in the Philippines. Of course, the leaders are Coke and then Pepsi, but with that being said, RC does have sort of a hold on the market. It's a significant name. And RC's appeal came from the fact that it's one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest, of the soda brands. So it was cost effective and it was available on every corner because it was in sari-sari stores, as well as because of the small scale distribution. Again, it was able to connect to the general public or the consumers. But one problem that came up in 2018 was the sugar tax or the train law, and this really negatively impacted the soda market in general. There was a 41% increase in soda prices, a 9.5% decrease in the soda market, and for RC Cola in particular, there was a 7% decrease in sales. And this is why RC Cola tapped Giggle advertising services to create an ad that would be able to make Filipinos remember that RC Cola is there, and RC Cola is sort of the Filipino staple at parties. Now let's show the ad for the RC Cola. So this is entitled Balot, which in English means to take out or to wrap up.
Kain tayo, may dala kang merienda.
Uy! Saan galing?
Birthday ng anak ni Maring Nenet. Nag-uwi ako.
it's probably going to be a bit difficult to understand like the cultural significance of this ad, so I'm going to try and break it down as well as best as I can. So this ad really talks about the Filipino party experience. At a Filipino party, there will never be a lack of food. While there might be like a full-on buffet spread on the table, you best believe that there is someone working in the kitchen creating more food. And this abundance of food creates the takeaway culture or the balot culture. And in parties, it's sort of seen as a gift from the host to the guest to be able to give them the food so that they can take it home. And also, at a more practical sense, there's only so much space in your refrigerator. So giving away food to those who will probably eat it, and those who would like it, and those who would appreciate it is probably a good choice. Now, if I were to break down the joke and the significance of the song, the girl singing, we have to take it to Miss Sharon Cuneta. So she is a Filipino celebrity who sang the song in the background, which is entitled Bituing Walang Nining. And the song line that we have to sort of focus on, and what the ad really centers on, is the line Balutin Mo Ako. And in English, this means wrap me. Or if we were supposed to say this in terms of like food, it could also be like takeout, sort of. And this trend actually started, there are actually no clear origins, but it started when somebody took a video of a person taking out food in the middle of a party, like putting it in plastic bags and stuff. And she put this song at the background, especially the line, the Balutin Mo Ako, or wrap me. And that sort of started this meme of calling it Nag Sharon, which is why it connects to Miss Sharon Cuneta. So when somebody say So when somebody would say, "Oh, Nag Sharon ako," it would basically mean that, oh, I took home some food from the party I went to. One thing you might notice, I'm not sure if you guys do, but there is quite a difference between the photo here and the person that was in the ad, and that was because it was a drag impersonator. Why would RC Cola use a drag impersonator? Mainly because they'd had a limited budget. So based on the managing partner of Giggle, they said that RC Cola didn't have much budget to play with. And if we were to look at it with Giggle's history, they also like to use drag artists to sort of parody these huge celebrities for these brands who probably could not afford like the talent fees of the actual celebrity. Now that I'm explaining it, it probably does not seem as funny, but the cultural significance or the impact it had on Filipinos who really just understood it and understood the meme made it so popular among the other soda ads that was out at that time. Now, if we were to look at the SDP, so they decided to segment it according to the demographic and psychographic, in particular targeting millennials and Gen Z in the lower middle class, or just the middle class, we could say. And with the psychographic, these demographic is usually humorous, they know trends, they're fun-loving, and they're family-oriented. With this in mind, as well as RC's positioning in the Philippines already, I came up with the positioning statement of "for the young bold Filipino who isn't afraid to take the party home." With the stakeholder analysis, I decided to focus on the 5 stakeholders, which was the Giggle marketing team, or we could also say the RC Cola marketing team, the consumers of RC Cola, the Philippine general public, local media, as well as competitors. And The ad mostly focuses on grabbing the attention of consumers and the general public in order to establish itself among market leaders, especially during the time where soda sales were at a low because of the implemented sugar tax. So the effect that this ad had on RC Cola was actually quite significant. There was an increased market presence, so over 200 million views on YouTube. And another thing that we have to note is that they did not air this on TV. This was purely on digital media, and they partnered with one of the known Filipino meme accounts on Facebook, which is the top used social media in the Philippines. And when they reposted it there, it garnered so much attention, so it actually became viral. And because of this virality, they're able to sort of rebrand, in a way, themselves as one of the quirky one of the soda brands. So one of the soda brands that doesn't really take itself seriously, which sort of matches with the targeted Gen Z millennial demographic. Because also of the absurdity of not only this ad, but the whole marketing campaign with Giggle, it gained national and international recognition, even being featured on the Ellen Show. But more importantly, despite the 2018 sugar tax, this ad and the whole marketing campaign with Giggle, they were able to increase sales up to 67%. And this is a testament to just how well they understood the culture and how the target audience thinks and feels. This is not to say that there is 1, 2, 3, go. So with the plenty things that Giggle got right or RC Cola got right with this ad, there are a few things that I personally would change and improve on just to add to the impact of this ad. And I have 3 main issues. First is the color grading. It's a little bit too dark and too cinematic. And with a topic that's so humorous, or a theme that's so humorous, I feel like it takes itself a little too seriously. Dimensions also play a part in this. In the original YouTube video, there is the black bars on the top and on the bottom, which again adds to the cinematic effect, which sort of there's a disparity between the humor and the seriousness sort of this type of dimension. 2, 3, go. And my last issue would be with the drama. I feel like they could have gone a little bit more crazy with it, especially because the idea of pulling out so many things, a person, a kid, a clown, a whole lechon, a whole pig, a singer, out of this little bag that you got from a party, they could have gone crazier with it, and it would have added to the humor, and I feel like it would have made it more impactful. With these issues in mind, I sort of reimagined the ad as best as I could using these points that I pointed out. So I improved the color grading. I added a dramatic flair, though it isn't as good as I wish it could be, as well as a dimension change. So I changed it from the cinematic one to a typically more video-esque style. And let's see this video.
Kain tayo, may dala kang merienda.
Uy! Saan galing?
Birthday ng anak ni Maring Nenet. Nag-uwi ako.
Balutin mo ako ng hiwaga ng iyong pagmamahal. Hayaang matakpan ang kinang na
was just mostly the aesthetic, which I had a issue with. But with this changes, I feel like it could really add to the drama and the humor of this ad. But all in all, it was actually quite a successful ad, as seen by the 67% increase in sales, as well as the over 200 million views on YouTube and probably on Facebook as well. 1, 2, 3. My presentation is now over. If there is anything I want to leave you guys with, it's what we can learn from this ad, and it is to not be afraid to dig deep and truly understand the consumer, your locale, and the culture that you're targeting. Because when you do all these things right, it's going to be a really effective ad that will eventually become a meme and sort of have its place in that culture. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching.